Parents, if they could reach out, tell them how bad the situation is, that you can't bring your kid to daycare because there's not enough staff.
Good evening, everyone. Child care centers are some of the most understaffed businesses in the region, and that's causing a crisis for families in need of reliable care. As Valley News Live's Anna Johnson discovered, there's now a new challenge that's making it virtually impossible for them to hire staff.
We need to come up with a solution, and the best way to do that is to get the word out that there is a serious crisis on our hands, and it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
Nicole Flick, owner of ABC 123 Child Enrichment Center in Dilworth, Minnesota, is facing a crisis. Pre-COVID, the Department of Human Services offered fingerprinting for companies that is needed to do background checks on their employees. When the pandemic hit, DHS closed many of their locations across the state of Minnesota. The COVID emergency order recently expired, and businesses like daycares and adult care facilities, as well as foster care providers, have to again meet the fingerprint requirement. But for child care providers, it's been almost impossible.
We're already short-staffed. We're trying to get people in the door. Not a lot of people are applying because of the low wages that the child care industry has. If we can get somebody here that wants to do this job, we need to get them hired, and we can't. We're not allowed to put them in the classroom or work with children until their background study clears.
It can take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, and in some cases up to 4 months to get a new hire in the system. And with jobs in great supply, people aren't willing to wait. Across the state, the child care worker shortage is at critical levels, and Nicole says government intervention is needed.
Child care needs to be funded at a federal level or a state level so we can compete with the schools.
Like many daycare providers, ABC 123 has had their existing staff working overtime. They've reduced their hours, and they've added a small rate increase so they can pay their staff more to keep up with rising wages in the market. Minnesota Senator Kent Eakin says that the DHS has had some recent technical issues with their mobile testing site in Moorhead, but that they were resolved. However, they will still only be open 1 day per week.
DHS has our hands tied.
For Valley News Live, I'm Anna Johnson.
While Fargo has resources for fingerprinting, daycare providers are required to obtain their prints and background checks in Minnesota. State and federal leaders are working on securing funding for child care programs.